Good morning, Charles. It's time for the talk show. This is a special day. It's James's birthday. Let's start the show! Did you hear that? It's good morning time, Charles. Let's start this off right. It's been a while since you slept here. Get these windows open. Oh yeah. There we go. Open them up. It's a little later than usual, so I don't think we have to worry as much about the volume of our voices. You know what I mean? Are you okay?
Oh no, man.
What's wrong with you now?
Oh, I'm hurting.
Hurting?
Yeah.
Well, let me get into here. There we go. Sit right here for the moment until you can get your lazy bum up. Wow.
I had too much fun for your birthday last night.
I guess so. It was a good night. It was a good night. I feel like I woke up this morning and got a year younger.
Really?
I mean, look at me. I have no sideburns for the first time.
Oh shit, yeah.
I cut them off. I
shaved
shaved.
your mustache. It's gone. You even have a haircut since the last time we've seen it.
Yeah, it's been. Well, I mean, I've been seen in public since this haircut. It was a month ago, but it's actually just starting to grow in. When I first got it, I kind of looked. I think it was you that said it, but like I had a miniature kid in play for him.
Yeah. You definitely had like a high top fade. It was pretty nice.
I don't know. I thought it was a little weird at first. It looked a lot better wet, and honestly, right now it is a little wet. So
yeah, it looks good.
It could be wet all the time, you know.
In a perfect world.
Yeah, but
in a perfect world.
It's always raining outside. Never in where I'm keeping my hair dry.
Oh, well, that's terrible, James. I'm glad that one day scientists will work on something that can bring water indoors.
Yeah, that's I think they call them faucets and showers.
They
haven't figured out how to get room wide ones.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're standing in my kitchen and it's leaking from the upstairs unit.
That
happens. That happens through the light bulb. This is the second place I've lived where water leaks out of all places through a light bulb. Oh wait, it doesn't go through a light bulb in there right now. It has in the past.
You remember the one on 14th Street?
That was a pretty bad one.
Yeah, it was just the whole white fixture would just like drop water.
Mm-hmm.
That was insane.
It was. I mean, that one was like it was coming out and then coming out of the corner part of a fluorescent light tubing unit, and it would drip. And then one day we called the landlord. We had problems with that place. But it was like 10 o'clock at night when they finally showed up, and he had a screwdriver, and he was just like, "Were you there that day?" It was so funny. He was like, "I don't know what I'm going to do. All I got is a screwdriver." I'm like, why would you even come here with just a screwdriver when you know light is coming out of, water's coming out of the light bulb? Now this one's a little bit more interesting. It's one of those twist light bulbs, and the light bulb builds up. Not the light bulb. I'm sorry, that would be a little bit worse. It's the encasement, like the thing, which submerges the light bulb entirely in water. And once it hits like a certain level, then it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
Well, a lot's been going on since you last talked to us. America has a new president.
No, it's the same president it was before. I'm sorry. Was there something else you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, the same president.
The same president. I can agree with you on that, Mark. I thought you were really going to say there was a new president. I was like, whoa, you missed out on Super Tuesday. Mitt Romney lost bad.
Oh, man, yeah, he did. He got crushed. I don't even vote, though, so, I don't know what I'm saying.
You don't know what you're saying? I mean, why don't you vote? Because you didn't feel like
it wouldn't have made a difference.
I mean, what if everybody woke up and said, I'm not going to do anything because it's not going to make a difference?
I wish people would. We should designate a day in 2013 where everybody really tries to affect things by not trying to affect things.
I think that's the beginning of Armageddon, and the Mayans have already predicted that day of what you're saying.
Well, let's give it a shot, guys. You know, I mean, the Mayans. I don't know if I really want to trust them. They can foresee the end of the world, but not the Spaniards. Is that right?
I have no idea. I thought the Mayans were in Spain. Okay, that was an ignorant comment. Drink up if you're playing the wait for James to say something done drinking game. Where's my coffee? There it is.
We were very prepared for this show, so everybody, we want to say thank you again for your time and patience.
Yeah, I mean, it's my birthday. We had fun last night.
That's
Instead
right.
of like getting to prepared for some sort of like newscast, today we're going off the cuff.
Absolutely, because we're always so prepared for this. It's James's birthday, everybody, so make sure that you tell him on the comment section of this, happy birthday, or go and follow him at TheRealJamesHeaney at Twitter.
It's not it at all.
Is that not it?
Maybe
what
it's
is it?
the Heen.
Oh, farts.
I mean, but maybe you could find me with the real James Heen.
I don't think you can.
No.
I've tried a couple of times, and I'm like, James, you need a Twitter, and then you always see that you're up there. But yeah, okay, so it's the Heen.
Yeah.
My bad. And Barack Obama is still our president.
Yeah.
It's a drink. That's a double Dutch right there.
Double Dutch.
Waterfall.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to the birthday comments because they make me feel real good. My birthday is my very favorite, with not one day exception. Not Christmas, not Easter, not Halloween. It's my favorite day of the year because it's all about me.
So remember
and
that.
anybody else that shares my birthday, but I hope they're not around me because that would be worse than wearing the same prom suit as me, the suit and tux, which I think happened to almost everybody at my school.
Yeah, I was about to say, tuxedos aren't really too unique. I mean, some are, but not at a prom.
Not at a prom. I had to fight off a lot of people that were wearing the same tux as me.
You had to fight them off.
Well, I had to, only one person could be prom king. And apparently there was a voting process, so I lost anyway. But I thought I had it.
So you just fought all those guys in the same tux.
It just started with one, and he laid me out. and I found out later that it didn't matter, so why bother?
Yeah, that broken jawbone was worth it, right? All those hospital bills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's James' birthday. He had a show last night. We got a little bit drunk.
Yeah, it was a really good show. I thought it was going to be empty because it was just pouring rain. Every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it rains for like a month straight. So I thought it was going to be a slow night. We got a packed crowd.
Yeah. Did you just say every Thursday, Friday, Saturday it rains for a month straight?
No. Every Thursday, Friday, Saturday for a month now.
Oh, okay.
Every time that those 3 days come around, God rings out the clouds.
Yeah, they have. It's been really dreary here, but we're in that time of year, you know.
Well, wouldn't it be great if it was on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
That'd be fucking awesome if it was. That's not how it works, James.
I just don't get it. It's starting to frustrate me. I feel like because on Thursday nights I have a rehearsal for improv, and it's in a garage, and in the garage it leaks when it rains. And it just leaks every Thursday. We do improv practice in a leaky garage, and most of the time we're fine. This week, 2 people were in a scene where they had to lay down, and they get up and they're just soaked. So the rest of their scenes are like a cardboard cutout.
Oh, that's terrible. I would hate that. I just wouldn't do it. I would self-edit in that
There are a couple people who are like, oh, you know what, work came up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. It's the water coming from the ceiling. You think you're too good to do some improv laying in dirty garage water.
Yeah, seriously. Nice. Those sound like good problems.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all.
Those are second world problems.
That is true.
That is, if your shelter is giving you problems, you can't do like first world problems.
Yeah, no.
But it's not like the bubonic plague, which whatever terrible thing. Actually, that happens here in the United States.
Yeah, didn't we?
We did say something about that.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that earlier? The little girl that picked up the squirrel or buried the rabbit, did the honest to God, really great, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And she contracted the plague.
That is true. That was on this show.
Yeah, we talked about that. We're pretty smart. But more stuff to talk about.
Well, I think that something that I'm surprised hasn't just been completely screamed about, and I'm sure that anybody who disagrees with me is going to be mad at me for saying it, but there's been some pretty hard evidence that came out this week that there's global warming. And not only is there global warming, but the sea levels are rising 66% faster than they said they were when everybody was like, you're full of it. And it's raising way faster. They're like, it's too late. We're going to have a national do nothing to affect the world day.
Good, we should.
Yeah, but the ice sheets, they are falling in the water much faster, and the water is rising.
Huh. So how long is it until Santa Monica and Venice in general are just gone?
Well, originally they were saying that within 100 years there was going to be massive problems on coastal lines, and now it's 66% faster. So I'd say about 60 years. I'd say we're about 60 years, which is just on the cusp of when I'm going to be in my prime.
Yeah, because you keep getting younger, right?
Well, I mean, the medicine out there that I'm not taking right now will pay off later when I finally get health insurance. And I don't know, what do you think? How long do you think you could last?
What?
90 years?
No. I mean, I don't think I can last past like 50 or 60, honestly.
So either. I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you brought it up. I was thinking like late 40s.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I make it to 50, if I can get to like the half-century mark, I will be pretty impressed with myself.
That'll be a pretty good run, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sprinting.
Yeah.
You're sprinting.
I do it, son. I mean, if anybody looks back on my life, they're going to be like, wow, if anybody ever lived, it was Charles Ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a good time.
I like pace myself, but I do little tiny sprints for like moments. But not
so you sprint walk.
I sprint walk. I'm getting places fast.
You're like a shitty cross-country runner. You just sprint for a little bit, and then you walk while your ankles recover.
You know, that's funny. That's is it too late to do Olympic stuff?
Yeah, since we did Olympic stuff in our first episode.
Can I just say, though, that Olympic walking is not a very cool thing?
We're not going to talk about that.
Okay, we won't talk about it. I missed my chance.
Even though it is your birthday.
It is my birthday next year, whenever the Olympics happen again.
I think we got 4 more years. 4 more years! 4 more years!
Does that always happen right around the elections? Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, both of those we missed because we weren't here talking to you. But what is going on in the NFL? Yeah, this is a rough one.
I don't even know if it can be brought up. I don't know much about the NFL, but I did watch this on the news, and it was bad.
Yeah.
And are you going to bring it up? Or is that enough to just
talk
about it?
Yeah, no, you definitely can't do that. You got to talk about it now since you made it so horrific and jarring.
It is horrific and jarring. And if I have a smile on my face, it's not because this is a funny thing at all. It's just the fact that I'm in a good mood on my birthday. There was a gentleman that had some sort of an argument. He worked for the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And he killed his girlfriend. They had a baby, but that was fine. Went to the family or something. Then he went to the stadium and saw the coach and the head coach or the VP coach. I don't know what kind of coaches. They were
general manager.
Basically, they were the people that helped him and were like his boss, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "Thank you. You've been really great." And then he killed himself.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. To me, it sounded like they had no idea why he would have done that. Then again, why would he
kill his girlfriend, though? I mean, she's like 22 years old.
Yeah.
She was a young lady.
Yeah. I mean, he's young, too.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder if, and this is complete speculation, but since it's coming from me, it's got some weight to it. Maybe he's suffering from the same style of thing that wrestlers suffer from, where if your head is just getting jarred all the time.
Well, like, that's what they're saying, is like with the NFL, like, it's the 5th suicide this year.
Yeah. From
the NFL players. And that's, like, unheard of.
Wow.
I mean, and, like, a lot of them are killing themselves by shooting themselves in the chest, as opposed to the head. Yeah, they shoot themselves.
Is that where he shot himself in the head?
Yeah, I think he shot himself in the head. But the other suicides have been in the chest, so that their brains can be examined for, like, concussion studies.
Oh, that's too much, man. That's dark.
Yeah, I know.
That's dark.
Yeah, I know.
That reminds me of something that I heard in the West Side Comedy Theater Greenwood last night. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with it or disagree with it. I so badly wanted to just start talking, but it was the stand-ups were talking in the back while somebody was on stage. And somebody said, comedy is one of those, is different from any other art, and it's the only one that's different than other art, because you only succeed at comedy when you make people laugh. And I disagreed in my head. But then he went further to explain it. I don't know what his name was. I would give credit for his point of view, but do you get credit for points of view these days?
I don't think so. I don't
so.
at least.
But he was saying that that comedy is the only art that's the way it's judged. Like as a painter, if you're like painting something, anything that comes from somebody is you can consider yourself successful. Where I think that is what he said. Is he like if you paint a painting, the person it doesn't matter what the person who experiences it feels as long as they're like feeling it with their interpretation. With comedy, the only way you're a good artist is if you're making one specific emotion from the person. Now, do you think that that's true?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that comedy is based on one specific emotion, but I don't think that painting you could just be considered successful.
I guess.
I mean, like, or music. I'm not very. I mean.
Yeah, that was exactly what was coming into my head was music. But I more wanted to argue that there was different things, and like right now, I'm not calling this comedy. I'm not an idiot. We've talked about football player suicide, now the theory of art. But I don't think you always have to get somebody laughing on the edge of their seat in order for something to be good comedy. One of my favorite comedies, I don't know. I thought. Actually, I did laugh out loud a lot. But Rushman and like the Royal Tenenbaums, Wes Anderson stuff. It's not the same kind of funny as watching Something About Mary. But I think.
Yeah, I'll agree to that completely.
Yeah.
But that's different types of humor, Like Something About Mary is slapstick, whereas Wes Anderson is something like subtleties or like character driven,
Yeah.
But. It's all art. Art's so subjective. Like, I can't believe, it's tough to compare any two forms of art.
Yeah. But I would say that it is a little bit of a strange pressure when you're doing stand-up comedy. Because that really is, like, a limitation. Like, you really are trying to get people to laugh at you.
Well, you're just trying to captivate the audience. That's the main thing that you're trying to do is stand up, and if it's with laughter, then yeah, that's great. But like a lot of stand-up comedy can border on like a one-person show. You know what I mean? Because like you can just drive it through with like a humorous point of view, but you can really do some and talk about some dark stuff. Like stand-up comedy, yeah, it's based off jokes or stories, but you can make people feel. You can evoke a lot of emotions with storytelling and with humor.
I totally agree. Wow. Is there anything else we want to talk about before this is over?
No, other than wish James a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, please do.
And thank you for coming back.
And if it's your birthday also...
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I guess you can say it's your birthday and I'll tell you happy birthday, but let's not cross paths today. Let's just not do it.
I agree with that. I ain't got no pants on.
Stop it, Charles.
I ain't got no pants on.
This is going to take a long time to stop.
I ain't got no pants on. I ain't got no pants on.
Oh, come